The shadows stretch across an empty room, and winter breathes its cold against my chest. I trace the lines of what we used to know, before the silence took away the rest. They tell me time will heal the deepest tear, but days just pass like ghosts across the floor. I'm anchored to the space you left behind, unsure of what I'm even fighting for. But even if the stars forget to shine, and even if the ground begins to break, I'll hold the fading embers of your light. With every single breath I have to take, it's funny how the world just keeps its pace, while everything inside of me is still. I try to find your voice in crowded streets, but find a quiet ache no crowd can fill. Is there a reason for this heavy heart? A purpose hidden deep within the pain? Perhaps it's just to learn how to endure, and learn to love you even through the rain. Because even if the stars forget to shine, and even if the ground begins to break, I'll hold the fading embers of your light. With every single breath I have to take, I will stay, I will bleed, I will stand through the storm that is pulling me down. If your love is the air that I need, then I promise I'm not going to drown. So Ranji, I cry out to the sky, a prayer sent up into the great unknown. As long as I remember how you smiled, I know that I am never truly alone. So let the winter rage, let darkness fall. I'll carry you until my days are done. I'll live a life worth living for us both, until the frozen night gives way to sun. I am here, I'll survive. For you, I am alive. lanterns flicker, painting shadows on your face. The scent of iron on the blade, a past I can't erase. You say our lives are drifting weeds, scattered by the gale. But in this sea of common dust, I'll find the Holy Grail.
Palace gates are locking tight, the secrets start to bleed. Ink is drying on the page, a life we didn't need.
When your cold silence meets my fire, a spark begins to rise. Two warriors in a web of silk beneath these heavy skies. Two rivers running wild, never meant to meet, but in the freezing winter snow we found the shared retreat.
You're the flower falling down from a cloud so high. I'm the flash of steel and grit
beneath the common sky. I'll walk with you to break the bells,
the silence of the throne. With these calloused hands I'll build a dream that we can call our own.
Let the empires fall like rain, let the power turn to gray.
If I hold you in the dark, I won't ever look away.
I will wipe the ancient sorrow from the hollow of your eyes.
In this world of broken jade, where the truth is dressed in lies,
Let the glory fade to black, let the legends turn to bone.
as long as I am standing here,
You'll never be alone. Palace shadows growing long, they cannot hide your stare. The wine is burning in my throat, the tension in the air. If this wedding rope was just a cage, a game of win or lose, how did I find a beating heart beneath the paths we choose?
you count in every move you make, a master of the board. But I am guarding every flame, the light that we restored. If the world is just a piece of jade held within your palm, leave a corner just for us, a moment of the calm.
The road is stained in red.
A gamble for the life we led.
If chasing jade is the price we pay,
I'll walk the edge of death with you until the break of day.
I'll walk with you to break the bells, the silence of the throne.
With these calloused hands I'll build a dream that we can call our own.
Let the empires fall like rain, let the power turn to gray.
If I hold you in the dark, I won't ever look
To behold the obsession of the soul.
Wait for spring to arrive when the streets come back alive.
To behold the obsession of the soul.
Chasing this heart to the end.
The salt was still on our skin from the Jeju shore, a pocket full of sunshine. We couldn't ask for more. Then we chased the horizon, saw the bosom skyline rise, with the weight of forever reflected in your eyes. We walked to Meepo Station, where the iron meets the blue, starting a new chapter, just me and you. Oh, the blue line hummed a melody along the coast. Of all the places we've been, this is what I love the most. From the tracks at the bottom to the capsules in the sky, watching the world and the waves drifting by. It didn't need the sun to make the moment shine. I'm just so glad that you are mine. The cafe was a sanctuary, a quiet place to rest, with a lunch that tasted better because we were so blessed. Then we climbed into our capsule, a little box of red and gold. As the story of the afternoon began to unfold, the clouds started gathering, a curtain made of gray. But they couldn't take the magic of the boozing bay away. Then the rhythm of the raindrops started tapping on the glass, watching the green cliffs and the quiet waters pass. The sky began to cry, but we were warm and dry inside, taking everything in stride on this slow and steady ride. They say the rain's a blessing, a silver-threaded grace, and I saw the whole wide world just by looking at your face. Oh, the blue line hummed a melody along the coast. Of all the places we've been, this is what I love the most. From the tracks at the bottom to the capsules in the sky, watching the world and the waves drifting by. It didn't need the sun to make the moment shine. I'm just so glad that you are mine. Coming back to Maple as the mist began to fall, it was the most beautiful, wonderful sight of them all. Jeju was a dream, but boozing sealed the vow. I loved you then, and I love you even more right now. Just the rain, the sea, and the sky capsule for two. My favorite honeymoon memory is simply you.
Cold rain falling on the harbor lights, broken waves in the dead of night. Sirens echo through the frozen shore. Something's breathing beneath the storm. Old men whisper the sea has changed, blackened skies and the drifting flames. No one sleeps when the dogs all cry, watching shadows move in the tide. And I still hear your trembling voice calling softly through the noise. Hold Hold my hand if the world turns dark. Don't let fear tear us apart. In the town they call home, where the ocean swallowed souls, we were chasing fading stars, while the heavens came apart, and the silence screamed our names like ghosts inside the rain. If tomorrow never comes, will you stay until we're gone? Street lights flicker like dying suns, children hiding with loaded guns, strangers falling from crimson skies, silver creatures with hollow eyes. Every heartbeat feels so slow, every memory buried in snow. I can feel the end drawing near, still your warmth is the only thing here. So we run through the ash and fire, past the ruins of old desires, searching for one final dawn, even when all the hope is gone. In the town they called home, we were never really home, just two shadows in the dark, trying to outrun the stars, and the sky became a grave for the dreams we couldn't save. If the universe goes cold, will you hold me when it's over? Last light fading from your eyes, alien moons above the tides, and the harbor disappears below, leaving only endless snow. Midnight crawling through the city veins, black rain falling like a curse again. Voices whisper deep inside my head, something ancient waking from the dead. Eddie walking down an empty street, trying hard to keep the beast asleep, but the sky is turning pitch black cold, and the symbiotes are losing control. Far beyond the dying stars above, Null awakens from his endless throne, God of darkness.
darkness, maker of the hive, coming now to swallow every lie. Can you hear the screaming in the night? Can you feel the end is drawing near? The shadows crawling through the light. The king of fear is finally here. Venom King in black arise, burning fire inside our eyes. Monsters fighting monsters now. No one's gonna save us somehow. Teeth like thunder, hearts like war, breaking heaven's final door. When the darkness floods the sky, we either fight or die. Carnage laughter echoes through the flames. Old enemies now look the same. Every city falling one by one. No more hiding, nowhere left to run. Venom says we are more than fear. Even monsters got a soul in here. Eddie bleeding, but he stands again for the world he never thought he'd save. Black wings spread across the crimson moon. Symbiote dragons coming far too soon. The oceans boil, the skyline breaks. Earth begins to suffocate. We were born inside the dark, broken minds and shattered hearts. But maybe monsters still can choose who they fight and what they lose. No descends from endless night, covered in 1,000 dying lights. Venom roars into the storm, like a beast reborn through war. Venom King in black tonight, last defender in the fight. Even devils bleed the same when the universe is wrapped in chains. Claws and shadows tear the sky, but hope refuses still to die. From the ashes we attack, facing down the king in black. In the silence after war, only echoes remain once more. Some heroes wear the light, some survive inside the night.
The rain keeps dancing on the window tonight. Street lamps fading in a river of light. Your shadow still lives in the corners here, like a memory refusing to disappear. You said forever in a trembling voice, like love was something we could always choose. But promises melt when the winter comes. Now all I hear are distant drums. Don't hold my hand if you're leaving soon. Don't paint our names across the moon. If your heart already found the door, then don't stay standing here anymore. Leave the lights low when you walk away. Let the silence say what words can say. I can survive this lonely night somehow. Just don't pretend you need me now. I still remember your sweater in blue, the scent of coffee that reminded me of you. Late night driving through the empty town, trying hard not to break down. You looked at me with tired eyes, full of beautiful and broken lies. We were fire burning way too fast, never built enough to last. So don't whisper dreams into my skin, don't reopen places healing within. If goodbye is waiting in your mind, then leave our fragile world behind. Leave the lights low when you close the door, like we were strangers before. I'll gather every shattered part alone, turn this heartbreak into stone. Like broken pieces of who we are, and I can't survive another almost true. So don't say love if you don't mean it to. Leave the lights low and let me forget you.
Close my eyes and the air starts to change. Leaving the city, leaving the range. The calendar turns back to a jealous spring. I can almost hear how the morning would sing. We were young, we were new, with the world at our feet, where the salt from the ocean and the blossoms would meet. The start of a lifetime, a promise we made, underneath the soft light and the cherry tree shade. 10 kilometers of heaven on Oaksand Road, where the pink meets the gold in a brilliant glow. Cherry blossoms dancing in the island breeze, while the yellow canola sways down at our knees. A tapestry woven of pastel and sun, our life as a story had only begun. Hand in hand through the colors so deep, a memory of Jeju I'll forever keep. The road stretched forever, a ribbon of grace. I remember the look that was there on your face. The petals were falling like snow in the heat, while the gold of the fields made the vision complete. No cars in the distance, just the sound of our breath. A love that is stronger than distance or death. Every step that we took on that volcanic soil was a respite from life and a rest from the toil. They say flowers fade when the season is through, but they stay in full bloom when I'm looking at you. The pink and the yellow, a contrast so rare, like the joy and the peace that we found waiting there. 10,000 meters of beauty and light, chasing the shadows away from the night. I can still smell the scent of the earth and the bloom, filling up every corner and every small room of the heart that I gave you on that island shore, where we promised to love and to cherish much more. The wind through the branches, a soft lullaby underneath the vast blue of the Jeju sky. We walked and we whispered, we didn't want rest. Of all of our journeys, this one was the best. 10 kilometers of heaven on Oak Sand Road, where the pink meets the gold in a brilliant glow. Cherry blossoms dancing in the island breeze, while the yellow canola sways down at our knees. A tapestry woven of pastel and sun, our life as a story had only begun. Hand in hand through the colors so deep, a memory of Jeju I'll forever keep. Our wonderful honeymoon, pink and yellow, along the road of dreams, forever in Oxen Road.
Dome is silent, rusted iron in the rain. We traded all our heroes for a decade's worth of pain. The breach was closed in 18, or so the legend said. But shadows move in silence while the world is tucked in bed. I see the Jaeger graveyard where the gypsy used to stand. A monument gripping onto hope by a single golden thread. They say the breaker stars are waiting in the glow of a neon vein dimension where the toxic rivers flow. It isn't about winning, it's about the final strike to stop the cycle spinning in the way the heavens like. We aren't just defending, we're the hammer at the gate, writing our own ending in the margins of our fate. Engage the drive. Neural handshake, 10%, 40%. I feel your fear, you feel my pride. There's nowhere left